PS2 games are playable on Nintendo Switch thanks to either SX2. Although most games have bad performances, there are actually some that run expectedly well. Viewers have been asking me for gameplay of a particular PS2 title. Actually, PS2 emulation is the most requested on Nintendo Switch, which shows that many of you want to see its performance. So I've gathered all the requests for a longer video so we can go through each title's performance. First up, the Ape Escape games ran at an average speed between 65% to 75%, with slowdowns dropping the speed even further. Ape Escape Pumped and Primed was constantly slow, while Ape Escape 3 ran the best on the first stage. Of these three games, Ape Escape 2 ran at the best at full speed. Next up, the Onimusha games all ran slow, which is a shame because it would have been awesome to play these games on Nintendo Switch. I guess we'll have to stick with the Switch port of Onimusha Warlords until Capcom decides to port the other titles. As for the Shadow Hearts games, I had a weird experience with the button mapping. No matter how many times I remapped, I couldn't get the movement controls to work. The buttons were mapped correctly, but the analog sticks were no-go. Only Shadow Hearts from the New World had working movement controls. The Soul Calibur games were kinda odd. To no surprise, Soul Calibur 2 didn't run at full speed, but I do must say it sure runs better than the GameCube port on Dolphin. Soul Calibur 3 was another example of control issues. The buttons wouldn't respond, no matter how I remapped them. Oddly enough, I could use the Pro controller, but it was mapped as the second player, since the Joy-Cons were turned on. Star Wars Battlefront 2 ran without a problem at full speed. I must say this was perhaps the game with the best performance in this video, which is kinda cool because there are no ports of any Star Wars Battlefront game on the Switch. Street Fighter Alpha Anthology will greet you with a black screen, but you can fix this by changing the GPU renderer to OpenGL. However, OpenGL makes the game run so much slower, so this won't make for better gameplay. The Xenosaga games were all running slow, except for Episode 1 that ran at full speed during the battle scenes. There are no official ports of the Xenosaga games for the Nintendo Switch, so the only Xeno games available are of course the Xenoblade Chronicles games. One drawback with PS2 games is that they're huge! The average size of one game is 2.3 gigabytes, so the micro SD card gets loaded up fast. Especially if you, like me, have Android and Ubuntu partitions on the same micro SD card. But if you attach an external hard disk drive, you can load from there, and now you have access to even more PS2 games. To save space, you can also use compressed formats such as gzip and chdman. So if you want to add the full PS2 game library compressed, you need space for 13.9 terabytes. In comparison, the uncompressed PS2 library is 17.7 terabytes. In terms of performance, I didn't notice any speed drop on my 3 terabyte Buffalo Drive station. Although either SX2 is the best way to play PS2 games on Nintendo Switch, it is unfortunate that there won't be any future updates since the development has ceased. The reason why is a whole other story, so if you want to know more, I suggest you look it up. But I must warn you, it's not nice. The emulator is closed source, so as long as the developer won't open it, the performance will be at its current state. There's also the risk that 5 years from now, an Android update will permanently screw up the app. Thank you so much for sticking until the end of this video. If you have any game that you want to see running on the Switch, please let me know in the comments below. See ya!